bring in now Senator Tom Carper of Delaware for more on the economy and also the prospects of a government shutdown could be just days away. Senator Carper is a former governor of Delaware and also has a seat on the Senate Finance Committee since January 2009. Senator Carper, thank you very much for stopping by.
It's great to be here.
On In the Loop.
I came here, I had breakfast. Yeah, there's great breakfast here.
These are early hours.
Really healthy food. And I look for the cashier. There's no cashier.
That's right. It's complimentary.
It is wonderful. Could I come here and do a show every morning with you?
Hey, the carpet is open for you anytime, Senator.
The carpet is open for Carper?
Right. Senator, let me ask you first about the government shutdown, because these economic numbers are in the background of what we are seeing going on in D.C. with the budget. What are the prospects of a shutdown?
I hope we're going to act like adults and the prospects of a shutdown will go away. We had one in 1995. It didn't turn out too well for Republicans. Yes. Turned out better for Democrats, and I hope the Republicans will kind of remember that and say, maybe we should try to work things out. And the key is not just to work things out for a week or two or three. The key is to put together a long-term deficit reduction plan, not unlike what the Bowles-Simpson Commission has recommended. Right. $4 trillion reduction over 10 years. And it's not so important what we do in 1 week or 1 month, actually. What we need is a long-term plan that says we're going to rein in spending, not only domestic discretionary, but defense spending. The entitlement programs are on the table, revenues are on the table. And I think what the key is, I think a lot of people think we have a culture of spendthrift in federal government. We need a culture of thrift. Everything I do, I know I can do better. The same is true for federal programs, and we need to look at every nook and cranny of the federal government to find out what can we do to get better results for less money. Right,
but the Republicans complain, of course, that the Democrats are not cutting the spending enough. So what's going to break the impasse, do you think, to avoid a shutdown?
I think the folks who worked on the Deficit Reduction Commission, Democrats and Republicans, there are 3 of each in the Senate, Democrats and 3 Republicans who actually voted for a $4 trillion reduction over 10 years. That is probably close to where we need to end up. We eliminate a lot of tax loopholes. We also lowered the tax rates. That's the key.
But that's even a budget that the president has written. The Simpson-Bowles is even a budget that the president has not agreed with completely.
That's okay. What he's doing is, I think, a negotiation here. He doesn't. If he goes right there immediately, then the Republicans are way over here. We're not going to end up, I think, in a smart place. And a smart place is close to that $4 trillion reduction over 10 years. And to do so in a way that not only calls for an equal sharing of sacrifice, works on discretionary spending, defense and non-defense, works on entitlement spending, does some on revenues, $2 for every deficit cut in spending, we do $1 of revenue, and we do it in a way that actually promotes economic growth, promotes investments in people, promotes investments in our infrastructure, and promotes investment in research and development. That's a smart plan. That's what we need to do. And we can get all hysterical, hair on fire, we're going to shut down the government. That's not all that productive in the end. The thing that's going to be productive is to say, we got 2 feet on the accelerator to get the economy moving. Let's start tapping the brake with one of those feet and eventually start putting down the brakes with both feet in about a year.
You wish, although the din is getting louder and louder about a shutdown. But let me move on from that, though, Senator Carper, because I want to get your take on oil. A lot of concerns here in the U.S. that the rising price of oil and gas is going to hit the consumer pocketbook. What should Congress do in response to the rising price of oil?
Well, actually, we've done some smart things. This president and this administration and the last one as well. We have raised the fuel efficiency standards for cars, trucks, and vans so that by 2016, the overall fleet average has to be 36 miles per gallon. We provided incentives for people to buy far more energy-efficient vehicles.
But
the private sector is stepping up today.
Right.
No, this is happening today. People going out to buy new cars, trucks, and vans today, they can get a $7,500 tax credit for buying an energy-efficient Chevrolet Volt. Fisker is launching the Karma. They'll get about 80 miles per gallon. We have the Nissan Leaf. There's a lot of cars and trucks and vans come to the market. We simply have to buy them and incentivize people to do that.
But to keep the price stable, though, would you consider
the price of oil?
The price of oil stable. Yeah. Should there be, for instance, a consideration of releasing the strategic petroleum reserves at all?
That's I don't think I'd go there first. The Saudis have announced today through OPEC, the OPEC Secretary General said, look, we have plenty of capacity here. The Saudis are not pumping, they're not processing as much as they can. They can easily offset if, let's say, a Libyan production goes away completely, the Saudis can ramp up production and take care of that. The Saudis, it's not in their interest or in OPEC's interest for us to have a calamity here. And they have sent a very strong signal that there's enough capacity. And so I talked earlier about hair on fire on the budget, the government shutdown, hair on fire on the oil. We don't have to do that. Okay. Long term, we got to figure out how to get people to use less fossil fuels and move to those renewables and move to conservation. That's the key.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Senator Carper,
I'll be back for breakfast tomorrow.
for joining us, and we would welcome you. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
Delaware Senator Tom Carper joining us.